Running influencer campaigns was already insanely profitable, and I've made over $5 million doing it myself. But it's just got even better thanks to AI and AI agents. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT or some basic AI software. There are now literal AI no-code tools that can do all the heavy lifting for you, like creating influencer outreach messages, doing follow-ups, finding the right brands to message, and also even managing influencer databases and doing pricing calculations so that you can focus on closing the influencer deals and making your agency or your brand money. So in this video, we're going to go over exactly how you can use AI tools to automate your work as an influencer marketer. But let's quickly recap what an influencer marketer is and what influencer marketing is so we know how we're going to be using AI. So very simply, for those of you who don't know, who are coming across my channel for the first time, influencer marketing is very, very simple. It's essentially where a brand works with an influencer to promote their products and services. Ultimately, brands want exposure and they want to tap into an audience that influencer already commands and the audience that already trusts the influencer. Paid ads, TV, out of home, all of these things are great, but you're distributing your content to cold audiences. Whereas with an influencer's audience, that audience already trusts the content creator. They've built up the audience already, so you can place your brand within the influencer's content and seek the results. Instead of having to build a social media following and audience yourself to then sell products, you can do it through an influencer's content. And as an agency, this is a super powerful model because you can help brands connect with influencers and make money by taking a cut. And as a brand, it's also super lucrative because it's one of the best ways that you can drive sales, reach, and exposure through utilizing influencers' audiences. I mean, there's so many great examples of this. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of brands already using influencer marketing today. I mean, some of the biggest companies are spending multiple millions in influencer marketing every single year, like Squarespace, like Netflix, like Nike, like Adidas. All of these huge companies are spending multiple millions on influencer marketing because they understand the value of getting their product with large or even micro content creators audiences to really drive home exactly what they want to get out, because they understand that it's a trusted audience that they're then pushing their brand to. And I started influencer marketing when I was 17 years old. I launched my agency Solarsim Media back in July 2018, and we're specifically focusing on helping gaming, SaaS, AI, entertainment, and software brands drive results with influencer marketing. And we help brands do it everywhere from top of funnel, your awareness, your views, your reach, all the way down to directly driving results and conversions. And I've now worked over the last 7 years with some of the biggest brands on the planet. We've got Ubisoft as a client, we're with Netflix, we're with Acer, Manscaped, all of these huge companies, and we work in some of the biggest budget campaigns around. One of our clients is going to be spending 1.5 to 1.9 million US dollars on an upcoming game launch purely with influencers that we're going to be managing. My agency is now in the position where just a couple of months ago, we were actually acquired by a leading performance marketing agency known as Journey Further. And now between the two agencies, we have nearly 200 people based in 4 offices, 3 in the UK, 1 in New York, and we're driving results for the biggest and the best brands and doing it all with a performance mindset. How do we take that exposure and turn it into cold, hard cash? And I love influencer marketing. I've been doing it for 10 years now. But traditionally, influencer marketing has required really hard work, like finding influencers, messaging them, following up with them, knowing what to pay them. And then also the same goes if you're looking in sourcing brands, if you're an agency. It's the biggest barrier and roadblock stopping so many agencies from closing their first deals, or even from brands doing it themselves and closing influencer deals. But with AI, we can cut that time massively. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to go through a few of the tedious parts of the process and how to automate them by creating a web app using the tool Mocha. Mocha is the AI tool we're going to be covering and using in this video. And it's an AI app builder designed for anyone. No coding required and no technical background needed. What makes Mocha stand out is that instead of paying for multiple services like all the other web app builders out there, you get everything in one integrated solution. Not only is this better for you as the user, but it also allows the Mocha agent to achieve a quality that is just way higher than any other tool in the market right now. Mocha is the only tool that has the key things like databases, user authentication, domains and hosting, as well as being able to add a paywall and integrate with Stripe and start monetizing your web app. You can literally set up a functional web app and monetize it within a day using Mocha. And these things take weeks, if not months. So if you want to follow along, just go to getmocha.com, click the link in the description, and let's get started. So when you click the link in my description, you're going to be taken to Mocha's website. As you can see, bring your app ideas to life using AI with no coding. And Mocha is trusted by over 150,000 users already, only just launching in July of this year. So crazy growth so far. And people are building real projects with Mocha, like this personalized portfolio website, the high converting SaaS. And as I say, it's a fully integrated solution. You can build databases, you get email storage all built in, and you can actually even monetize it with Stripe and paywalls. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, but definitely come through, check out the testimonials, check all that out. So you want to go ahead and hit join Mocha, it's free. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to continue with Google, or you can set up with your email. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to my Mocha account with Google authentication. So once you set up your account, you're going to be taken to your dashboard. And this is what it looks like. For you, it's going to be blank. I've already created a couple of awesome web apps with it. And as I say, Mocha is completely free, but it's based on a credit system. So you can actually go ahead and choose different plans. So there's a free plan, there's a bronze plan, there's a silver plan, there's a gold plan. I'm currently on the silver plan, as you can see here. And I recommend the silver plan. It's really great. You get a huge number of credits. I've already made 2 complete web apps and barely even used the credits. So even if you charge us on the free plan, you're going to be able to make really comprehensive web apps just for free. But obviously there's options to upgrade and get better apps as well. Mocha also has opportunities to go ahead and learn. There's a lot of key information here. And they have a spotlight where you're going to be able to see standout apps that other people in the community are making for some inspiration. But for today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make 2 key web apps with Mocha. The first one is creating an influencer database. So a place you can come and store your creators that you're sourcing and that you're finding, putting them into a database, managing all of that. And it's like a hub for that. And then also being able to create client or approval portals. So you think about it this way. If you're an agency managing influencer campaigns, you want a clean, cohesive way that you can send your influencers across the brand for them to be able to see all the information and approve it. And if you're working at a brand and you want to send the influencers for approval to higher up, again, you want to have a clean way that your boss can then go ahead and look at that. I'm also going to show you how you can actually go ahead and monetize that tool, because influencer databases and platforms are so hot on the market right now. I mean, there's some where you're paying multiple thousands a month for. So if you could create a web app with Mocha and monetize it, you could then go ahead and sell that to agencies or sell that directly to brands. So that's the first I'm going to show you guys. The second app we're going to create today is an influencer pricing calculator app. So pricing influencers, everyone still is always asking me, like, how do you price influencers? It's very difficult. Obviously, you price influencers based on average views and the CPM, but it becomes so frustrating, like to pull up a calculator. Like I pull up my phone, type in all the average views, calculate the CPM. So we're going to just create a web app, which you can just make an influencer pricing calculator for. And then again, you could go ahead and monetize that and sell that into brands, into agencies, or just really anyone that might require it. So let's go ahead and create a new app. Simple as this. The way that Mocha works is I'm pretty much just prompting it. I'm typing in ideas as if you're typing in an idea to ChatGPT of what I want to create. So you can even add attachments. You can make it private, so it's not clonable by others, so only it's for me. Or you can make it public where anyone else can view it and they could clone it. Mocha also has inspiration, so I could go here and say I want to do like a Twitter feed, and it'll create a Twitter feed. Or there's other ones in here like a B2B SaaS, create a modern Oracle NetSuite. There's also then templates. So I could say a high converting SaaS landing page, and it's obviously now gone and showed me a template that someone has made, and I could go ahead and just clone this straight away, which is very cool. And it's got prompting 101, so it gives you advice on how to best prompt. But for us, we're going to create this influencer database. So what I'm going to tell Mocha is I am an influencer marketing agency, and I want to make an influencer database. The idea behind this database is that me and my team will be able to add influencers by their channel links and include key information such as contact info, name, shipping address. Then we want to have social media platforms, price per deliverables. So then let's say like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the creator's niche, e.g. gaming, tech, lifestyle, beauty, etc. And then the creator's following tier, e.g. micro, macro, etc. I also want to be able to mass import the import creators by a CSV, so my team can upload creators in bulk. I then want to be able to mass import creators by a CSV, so my team can create as well. And then I also want to be able to add a client-facing portal. My clients will be able to either log in or receive a link to their portal. I can then send them influencers to approve for specific campaigns or reject on their portal. I should be able to do this one by one or in bulk from my database. So that's what I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell that I want to have a database with a client portal, and I'm going to go ahead and click send. And then you're going to be taken to this building page. So Mocha, as you can see on the left, is now initializing, and it's going to go ahead and listen to the prompt and create my tool. So whilst it's doing this, I'm just going to show you a couple of the features here. So obviously I can close the chatbot, works exactly as it would. There's a docs, there's a community. I can discuss with Mocha in here, or I can change things. Obviously it's not going to let me do that whilst it's initializing. And you can also choose and upload files and whatnot there. Now in here, you get your code section. So as it creates the app, you're actually going to be able to see the code that it's making specifically for the tool as well. You could actually go ahead and edit the code. You can't edit the code, obviously, when it's building it right as itself, because it's custom coding it right now. But if I was technical and I wanted to directly edit the code myself, then you're going to see here this tab called data. Now, this is one of the biggest and most unique features of Mocha. Other web app tools don't allow you to have databases. So what you're going to see later on, and I'll show you this example, is that when Mocha creates the Influencer Hub, it doesn't just create the front end platform, it actually creates a database. So what I can do is I can upload all these creators by CSV, and it's going to store them in the database just included within the app. Then there's also the settings section, so you can change the product names. So let's say I want to change this to Suhit's Influencer Database, and then I can change the description, custom influencer database with client portal. It's then going to give me a project size once it's obviously generated. Project visibility, you can have the show with Mocha app, and then this is going to show you how it's going to look when you share it. If you do want to change the branding and everything like that, then you're going to be able to do that as well, just by giving a logo to Mocha when you're doing the building section. And then I can obviously go ahead and hit save and update these. You can give it assets as well. So I could go and drag and drop and upload some assets. I could upload a logo, I could upload whatever I want. You can look at publishing. So right now it's just under some random domain. I'll show you how to publish it later. But one of the things that Mocha allows that most of these other tools don't is that you can actually add and link a domain to this. So I could go ahead and I can enter a domain. So I could add like suhitaminsdatabase.com, connect it, and then my influencer database would be hosted directly on my site. Or they've actually partnered with IONOS, and you can actually buy a domain directly through Mocha as well. There's also secret keys. So in here, if I was integrating this to OpenAI, or if I was integrating this to Stripe, which I'm going to show you a bit later, you can add in your secret keys as well, because obviously you need to integrate them to other platforms. It's got the Google sign-in section. So if I wanted someone to have my own Google OAuth solution, it can be done here. So it's got full like authentication process that's already actively built into here. So you can use your own Google OAuth client to show your app's branding in the Google sign-in flow. This will replace Mocha's default branding with your own. So that's super powerful if you can add your own authentication in. And then of course, it's got the knowledge piece as well. So you can give Mocha things. As you can see, this information will be automatically included in every conversation with your AI assistant. You can add things like writing style preferences, company terminology, or specific guidelines that you want the AI to remember. So that's like the AI's memory that you want it to have. So we head back to the build section. As you can see here, it's told me that I'll build your influencer database with agency client portals. This is a comprehensive system, so I'm going to start with the core functionality, the influencer database with all the fields you mentioned, plus a bulk CSV import. The client approval portal will be added in a follow-up iteration once we have a foundation solid. So this is obviously telling me it's going to create the MVP first. I'll go ahead and approve it, and then I'm going to make it build the client portal. What it's already done is it's built the core influencer database functionality with authentication. So authentication obviously is fully built in here. So I can just use Google and I can log in and it's fully authenticated. Full CRUD operations and CSV import. The app's got a beautiful dashboard where you can add influencers, all the fields that you requested, filter by niche and tier, and important multiple creators at once via CSV. Then we'll add the client portal on the next iteration. For now, you can start building your influencer database and your team can begin adding directly. So it's just adding and writing all the code. So as you can see, the code is getting added in the background here. There's obviously information. There's all the source code as well. So it's going to write all the various bits of code for me. And then very, very quickly, it's going to be able to produce a full web app for me. And this process takes anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how in-depth the process is. And if you think about like if you were coding this from scratch yourself or like paying a developer, no one can produce a full web app in 3 to 5 minutes. So it's pretty crazy. So I'm going to come back here. Oh, here we go. Literally, as I say, it's going to come back here once it's done. 14 changes made. And it took 5 minutes and 22 seconds to create this database. And as you can see here, we've now got Influence Hub. Managing influencer partnerships with ease, track creators, organize campaigns, and streamline client approvals. It comes with a centralized database, a bulk import, and also a client portal. So this is literally just giving me a full app right there. And it's also integrated authentication. So again, if I was just using this personally, I wouldn't need this. But if you want to go ahead and sell this to people and monetize it, the fact that it's integrating a login feature and an authentication, so someone can log in via Google into the app directly, is a game changer. So I can go ahead, click Get Start with Google. I'll then be able to go ahead and I'll be able to log in with my Google workspace. And then that's look bang, Suhit at theimacademy.com. And now I have my influencer database. So then go ahead and now I can start and I can add my first influencer by name, YouTube channel, pricing, classification, tier. So let's say I'm just going to add myself, Suhit Amin, and then we'll just do Suhit at theimacademy.co. And then I'm just going to do, I'm not going to add any of this in just for the purpose of speed. Actually, let me just add my YouTube in youtube.com/at Suhit Amin. Let's say I charge $5 bazillion for YouTube and I've got 10 to 100K followers, and I add notes. Suhit only partners with the best brands like Mocha. Hit create. Oh, it wants me to change the URL here, so I need to add a proper URL. Great. And bang, this is now me got an influencer in my database. I could obviously then go ahead and I could import a CSV. It even has already generated me a template, so it's done in the required format. So I would download this template, get someone on my team to populate it, and then import it, and it would import the full thing. But now I've got an influencer in my database. And what's very, very cool, I was telling you about the data section before. If we go to the data section now, obviously now it's pulled in a user, right, through the authentication. So we've got the user, so at the IM Academy, and it's also got a database of influencers. So it's got all the notes in like a spreadsheet form. So it's built a full database for me. So as you're adding hundreds or thousands of creators in here, you're building the back-end database so that you are owning all of this data, which is so valuable, especially in the influencer marketing space, to have solid data pool of influencers. So that's it now built here. You can obviously then do filters. So let's say I want to filter by micro, so it comes in, but let me add another influencer. Let's say Suhit version 2, Suhit at theimacademy.com this time. Then let's do https youtube.com/Suhit1, and let's say this Suhit only charges $340, and this Suhit is a nano creator. There we go. We now got two influencers, Suhit version 2 and nano, and I can then filter it by micro, filter it by nano, and that is just insane. Now let's build the client portal. So thanks, this is great. Can you please build for me the client portal? And now I can tell Mocha to go ahead and build the client portal that we requested initially. Obviously, as it says, it's going to be added in the next iteration once I've tested the database's features. I've not tested the features. I'm happy with everything here. It's going to go ahead and it's going to go and create the client portal. And it's going to go ahead and code me brand new client portal that I don't even have to lift a finger to do. So I've got all this information here. What you can also do is you can publish it with like one click. So you can go ahead, I can make it public, I can make it private, I can then change the information, I can change the domain. So let's say Suhit's influencer database and hit publish. Subdomain successfully. Please wait for your app to be redeployed. So this will usually take about like anywhere from like 15 to 2 minutes to publish the app, depending on how big it is. Right now, it might not actually publish because obviously I'm making iterations actively to it, but it's one click to publish, and then you have a fully functioning app. And look at that, the app is successfully published. I can go to open URL just whilst it's creating the client portal, and we have the influencer database as its own tool, which is pretty cool, to be honest. And as you can see, it's now creating other parts of the database, which is going to be used for the client portal. So it's building the client portal so you can share campaigns with clients for info approval. This will include campaign management, influence assignment, and a shareable link the clients can use to review and approve or reject influencers. So this is going to build that in the second, and then we're going to have a completely different app. I'm going to have an app that Still allows me to have the influencer database, but then also allows me to send it through to clients. And again, this doesn't need to just be clients. This could be you, brand, in-house, that just needs to have a tool where you can share to your head of marketing, your director of marketing, your VP of marketing, something that's super low lift, low effort. They don't have to go through. They can just get all the influencers that need to approve very, very quickly, see all the key info, see the pricing, see the tiers, see the content information, provide you either feedback of why they don't want to go ahead with them or approve them right there and then bang, super efficient process. So let me show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, and as you can see, we have now got the second version. So Mocha's come here and it said, built the client portal to share campaigns. Here's what I added. Campaign management, create a campaign from the new campaign section in your dashboard. Each campaign is a unique shareable link. Influencer assignment, add an influencer to the campaign individually or in bulk. Managers' influencers are presented to each client and the client portal. Clients can access their campaign via the shareable link without needing to log in, which is actually super powerful because it just creates one layer of unnecessary stuff if they have to log in. So shareable link, which is really simple. It can review each influencer, approve or reject them, and add feedback notes. And the portal shows real-time status counts for pending, approved, and rejected influencers. And the navigation has been updated with two main sections, database and campaigns. And that's made 12 changes, completely recoded it, and it's only taken about 4 minutes. So now we've got this, we've obviously got the adding influencer, we've got all the information here that you can do. Let's go ahead and make a campaign. We can go ahead, we can create a campaign. Let's call it Mocha test campaign, test for Mocha video to show client approvals. Hit create campaign. And then what you can do is you can hit manage influencers, and then let's add influencers to the campaign. So let me choose both of these guys. We'll hit add to influencers, and then we've got the influencers in the campaign. And then we can just go ahead and hit copy client link. And then what I could do is I could then send this over to the client. I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. And then look at this. We've now got a client view. The client Mocha test campaign, test for Mocha to show client approvals. And then we've got two pending. It shows you the status of each. So we can approve and we can reject. So let me add notes. I like this creator. His size is good for the price. So I can save the notes. I can add the notes. And then I can go ahead and then hit approve. But this one, his price is way too high. So I'm going to say too expensive, save notes, and then I'm going to go ahead and reject him. And then look, the client has now gone ahead, nothing else pending. One has been approved and one's been rejected. And then if I go back to Mocha now, I'm going to be able to go ahead and click manage influencers. And I'm going to be able to see on the back end what was approved, the client's notes, and here they were rejected. So this is just a super simple way to allow for feedback and approval process between me and the client, just by giving them a link to a dashboard that's a bit more visual. And the thing with this is that it really ups your game a little bit. Sending spreadsheets and sending all this other stuff, that's fine. But if you can show your own tools and your own software within the work that you're doing, it just makes you look a bit more premium and expensive and reputable. So if you can create your own influencer hub, obviously it's called Influence Hub here, but however you want to call it, and then you can give this access to clients. This is our tech solution. It makes things even more premium the way they use it. Now, it obviously showed you this. You can obviously come into the databases. So we've got the influencer database still here with both these influencers. Now also got a campaign database, which is given that information. And we've got a database of campaign influencers as well. So the campaign ID that you obviously have here and the influencer ID, so it matches it back to the IDs based on the stuff, so in true database fashion, and then why they're approved and why they were rejected as well. So all stored and all that information. And obviously I've just got two influencers here, but I could put 1,000 in here and then add them into campaigns with clients and send links out to 5-6 different clients, all from this one web app that I'm building. And look, this is super basic so far already, but you can really adjust and keep prompting this to make it what you want. But what is the most special thing about Mocha is the fact that you can actually add a paywall through a Stripe integration to your web app. So you don't have to go elsewhere and custom code something, custom code a Stripe paywall. You do that all through Mocha and the platform itself. So I can say to Mocha, I want to sell this database to agencies and also to brands, influencer database platforms, and workflow management tools are really hot in the market right now. So I want to monetize this tool. Can you help me add a paywall and integrate Stripe to collect payments? I am thinking the following options. 1, a monthly plan for agencies at $97 a month. 2, a monthly plan for brands at $79 a month. Brands go cheaper. And then both having yearly plans at $800 and $650 respectively. Finally, please add a section to bypass the paywall with a custom password for me or for people I give this to for free. Make the password, let's make the password AP. Let's make the password AP. Just have to do that. Make the password AP. Thanks. And then now you're going to see some crazy magic. Mocha is going to make this platform paywalled, so people aren't going to be able to access it without buying it. So obviously I showed you that. I went ahead and published it. Okay, and look at that. I have gone ahead and I've asked it to create and integrate Stripe to collect payments. Now it said it's added Stripe payments integration with subscription management. System includes the 4 pricing tiers that I've asked for: agency monthly, agency yearly, brand monthly, and brand yearly. Automated subscription handling via Stripe webhooks. Password bypass with the code AP for the free accounts. Protected routes that redirect to pricing pages if no active subscriptions. And a billing portal access for subscription management. So it's built all of that within the matter of 5 minutes and 51 seconds. After I add the Stripe API keys, which I need to go ahead and add, if I want to actually start collecting the payments to my Stripe, I need to configure the webhook endpoint in a Stripe dashboard to point to API webhooks in Stripe and test payment flow to ensure that they are working correctly. The pricing page is now accessible at /pricing, and all main features now require an active subscription or bypass access. So as you can see here, choose a plan, select the perfect plan for your needs, click agency monthly, the brand monthly, agency yearly, and the brand yearly. And obviously if I have a bypass code, I can go ahead and bypass. So super intuitive. Obviously this has failed to start the checkout purely because I haven't actually added the Stripe API key, but you'd be able to go ahead and straight away start a solution with Mocha, which you can go ahead and monetize. And of course I can just go ahead and bypass that. I can unlock the access and my database is still working here. I can go ahead and publish this app. So now I'll go ahead and publish this publicly because I have obviously made adjustments. It's going to take a couple of minutes to do this, but if I go and publish this to the web, and once it's done, you're going to be able to see that this actually now is a functional web app on a URL that I can go ahead, send to people, they can go ahead and purchase it. And I can continually add more to this app literally just by prompting it. But already within a matter of like 15 minutes, I've got a web app that's sitting on a domain that I've created. Obviously I can go and add a custom domain if I wanted to, I just haven't. That requires a payment plan to actually start and use it. I can have a bypass code if I want to continually go ahead. I can unlock the access and then look at that, bang, I have got a campaign. Now you'll see here that there's no influencers yet on this public version. And the reason for that is because we've got 2 separate versions here. We've got our development version and then you've got your production version. So in the production version, I haven't actually added any influencers yet, but in the development version, that's what I did. So I could just show you exactly how that would work. So I can go and add Suhit Amin again. Let's go add https youtube.com/@SuhitAmin and then make myself micro and then create that. And now in the production workspace, I have myself. And if I go here into the production area, I've got myself and now I've got Suhit Amin as well. So that is a fully created Influencer Hub database that is created both in development and production with a monetization view as well. And if I go here, Influence Hub, such as database bulk import and get started with Google, I'll go ahead and I will do a different email this time. I'll hit continue and then it's going to push me to a pricing page to choose a plan. So I can go ahead and monetize this app already immediately, which is insane. Now the second app that I was going to make, which you can do the exact same process for. Go ahead, you can monetize it, you can add a paywall, that influencer pricing calculator. I'm not going to go through and show you how to monetize it and set up a client portal for this one because I've just showed you how to do that. I just want to show you the different types of apps you can make. I mean, you can make anything here, but this is just another example. So I want to create an influencer pricing calculator. Right now, what I want from this tool is to be able to insert as many views from videos as I want. E.g., I want to add 12 sets of 100k views. Then the tool should calculate average views, removing the 2 extremes, the highest and lowest, and then it should calculate a price based on a drop down CPM, cost per mil, or a CPM that I manually enter. E.g., if the average views are 100,000 and I select $25 CPM, price output would be 2,500 USD. Please make this a blue and red, and then I can go ahead and now it will go ahead and create this tool for me in a matter of probably anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes. So let's come back when that's created. And actually, that one took 49 seconds, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, as you guys know, or you might not know, when you're calculating an influencer's payment and what to actually pay them, you typically do this based on average views of their videos on, say, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, multiplied by a CPM. So these are the two inputs you're going to need. And typically what I would have to do, as I mentioned before, is pull up my phone, go to my calculator app, and manually add up all of these numbers and then multiply and everything. Now, all I need to do here is I can just add in some video views. I can add in this one. I can then go ahead and add in 500,000. I can then go ahead and add in 450,000. I can then go ahead and add in 300,000. Maybe add in 80,000. Maybe then I add in 1 million. You get the gist. And then you can have it multiply an estimated price based on the CPM. So obviously you've got CPMs all the way from $10 to $100. I could obviously just ask Mocha to add me more. Let's say it's $10. This is going to estimate my price based on the average views and the CPM rate. Or I can do a custom, and let's say I want to do a $13 CPM. So then got my average views calculated from 4 videos, because you can see here it's removing the lowest and the highest, and it's got these down, and then the estimated price. And again, very, very simply, like I could go ahead and save this via settings and everything here. Obviously right now there's no database behind this, but I could then go tell Mocha, make this a Google authentication. So can you add a login feature so it requires Google authentication to log in and use the tool? And then what it will do is, as I say, it will completely automatically just integrate Google authentication into the app, and it's going to add this so that it can protect the pricing tool. You have to sign up with Google to actually access the tool. And again, I could go ahead and monetize it as well. If I wanted to sell this, I can make some pricing plans, integrate it via Stripe, and it's all generated specifically and directly from Mocha. So this is going to generate that in a second, and then it's going to have a Google login requirement to actually access my pricing calculator. And now, as you can see, Mocha's gone ahead and they've gone and added the Google authentication to the pricing calculator. The app requires users to sign in with Google, and so they can use and access the tool. So that just makes it secure and a fully integrated, secure session management. And once again, you can go ahead, you can publish this, publish the app, will get done in minutes. So super intuitive platform. And really the main benefit of this is that you can create anything you want. It doesn't just have to be influencer tools. I'm obviously showing specific influencer tools because I do influencer marketing, but anything that you think of that's going to provide you guys value within your day-to-day business life, you can just prompt and create with Mocha. And once you do it once, you can continually iterate it and make it better, but you just remove all of this manual input and issues that you have. But the most valuable part of it is that anyone can become an entrepreneur just from building a web app with Mocha, because you can create the tool, you can create easy databases from it where you can store data. You can have actually people have to log in and create user portals from the platform, and you can monetize it as well. So super incredible and intuitive platform. Probably one of the best that I've seen out there in the market, if not the best. And as I say, I've already shown just how quickly I've created 2 influencer pricing calculators and how I've created that influencer database with a client portal with a paywall just from using Mocha. And look at that, I've barely used any credits to create that as well. I had like 4,400 before, so I've only used like 100 credits creating 2 fully functional web apps with paywalls as well. So that's just incredible. And as I say, you can build literally anything in Mocha, but if you're like me and you do influencer marketing, well, the reality is influencer marketing is all about speed and efficiency, both from brand and agency side. The faster you can connect with the right influencers, the more money you, your agency, or the brand can make. And it's why I recommend using Mocha, because it lets you build and automate crucial influencer marketing processes all in one place, and also provides you a fully integrated solution to go ahead and actually monetize them as well. And this is one of those tools that I believe that the competition are going to start using. And if you don't, someone else is making money and closing deals. So I want you guys to click the link at the top of the description to go ahead, try Mocha out. It's totally free. And if you're interested, upgrade to that more premium plan, because you get a lot more access from it. And comment below, let me know if you use Mocha, let me know what you build with it and how useful it is. And aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next video.